Hi everyone, welcome to 10 on the 10th. This is a card collaboration that was started by Metal Scrapping Chick. And she is not doing it for December, but hopefully she's starting back up in 2020. She talked about that, but Stamp Girl and I and maybe some others decided to continue. I'm a little bit late today. I've just had a ton of stuff going on, but I got my cards done. And my theme today was to use scraps or pieces from things that I started in previous, for previous cards, and you'll see what I mean on the first two. And then after those first two, the scraps were out of mostly this Most Wonderful Time product medley kit by Stampin' Up, and the last one or two were out of, these are all scraps, Night Before Christmas. Now I have some regular size paper of this, but I did not use, the object was to not cut in to any new paper. So I do have a lot of this. Now this one is retiring. So if you would like this, be sure to get it now. And remember, December 11th is free shipping, one day only. So be sure to get your favorites before they are gone. Yeah. And there's also year-end clearance going on. So check it out. I don't remember if this one is on clearance or not. But if you like it, check it out. Now this one is carrying over to next year's holiday catalog. So again, I only have like these 4 or 5 little teeny snips left, and I used all the other scraps that I had in there. So with that, and also I had made some card bases, and I used all but I used all the card bases. I have one mat and then this piece here that I had cut previously, and I didn't use those, but all the other ones I used. So here's the first card. So remember from last Tuesday, we were doing the Mercury Glass Acetate, and I had, I'll bring both cards in, I had 2 pieces left. This also, the tree had been die cut out of this already in blue and darkened a little bit. And then this one had been die cut out already in shaded spruce. So this is the Crackle Mercury Glass, and this is more the, I call it like water droplets or snow almost on it. I had this piece of watercolor paper. It had already been watercolored. It had been spritzed with shimmer frost white. It's frost white shimmer paint mixed with alcohol, and that had already been sprayed on. But what I did do is, before I popped this tree up, I took this Most Wonderful Time tree here. This is part of the product medley. This little tree here, and I made like a forest just in navy blue. I stamped off, and I stamped and I stamped off several times. So up to here we have a little woodland area going on, and then this tree stands out in the foreground. Also, this had already been die cut. This comes from the Coordinating Most Wonderful Time dies. There's a label thing in there. So I stamped a Christmas tree and Night of Navy on it, and I put a piece of the Seaside Spray metallic ribbon from the current holiday catalog, and I think that one's carrying over. I'm not positive. Don't hold me to that. And this I bumped up. I used glue dots to put the acetate down onto the watercolor paper that had been cut out. And then I bumped the tree up on dimensionals, and I think it was mostly mini dimensionals because of the edging. And then these are the, I think these are the holiday accents, rhinestone accents. Let me see. Yes, Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels in Night of Navy. They're up here, and I just used 3 of them. And let's see what I did on the inside. On the inside, again, stamped off 3 times with that little tree, and just put "Hope you have a wonderful Christmas," which is also out of that Most Wonderful Time. So that is card number 1. Card number 2, I pulled out a piece of shaded spruce. I could not find, I think this tree actually had been stamped on white with shaded spruce, but it wasn't actually cut out of a piece of cardstock. So I did the same thing here. You can see in the background, I stamped shaded spruce on shaded spruce, and then I spritzed the whole thing with that frost white shimmer. This is a piece of shaded spruce with gold ribbon from the holiday catalog. This had already been stamped out, and I can't remember which, I think that might be Winter Woods. One second. Yes, that sentiment is from Thinking of the View of the Season is from Winter Woods. And I had stamped that out last week also in Memento Black, Tuxedo Black. So I used that, and it was already cut and everything. So I just went ahead and used it. And these are from that same Holiday Basic Rhinestone Jewels, but in the shaded spruce. So perfect color. And then these little stars are out of the Most Wonderful Time product medley. They came in that. And then on the inside, I just used a piece of shaded spruce. I stamped "May Your Christmas Be Merry and Full of Delight." And I think that came from Elfie. Yes. "May your Christmas be merry and full of delight, with a new year that's happy and healthy and bright." And I just put it on Whisper White. I did take my Delicata Delicata Gold to move stuff around, Golden Glitz, and just ran the edges over the stamp pad. That's no longer available at Stampin' Up. And I just ran it along the edges to give it a little bling there. But that's the second card. Now we start getting into the scraps from the paper that came with the product medley, Most Wonderful Time. And also, this card base had already been made in basic black, and I had some scraps of real red, which is a color that coordinates with this. This was a scrap. This was a scrap. This was a scrap of Whisper White, and this sentiment is from the Perfectly Plaid stamp set, "May this special season be wrapped in love and joy," and I thought that went well with the presents. So, and then these are the gold enamel glimmer dots in the holiday catalog. So, and I think that's about, oh, and this is bumped up on dimensionals here and then glued on over here, and then this whole thing is on dimensionals. So I thought that came out cute. And the Merry Christmas is also from Perfectly Plaid, and I stamped that in Memento Tuxedo Black as this was. And I just, here's another scrap of, excuse me, of real red. So I did the same kind of treatment. It goes over to here, and then this is on top. I didn't put any other designer paper in. So that's that third card. Now the next one, this piece was actually not a scrap. It was a, in the product medley, you get, let me find them, you get some card fronts, and you get some stars, some stripes, and then these Stars of Bethlehem. And I used this one on this card, and I'm going to use this one on the next card. So they're the only two that were not really scraps. And again, another card base, vertical card base, had already been cut. So I used the card base. This was a scrap. This was out of a scrap. And I believe this was too. Now I did use a scrap of gold foil and cut this from the Stitch Stars dies that goes with the So Many Stars. And these Stitch Stars dies are carrying over. And there's a coordinating non-holiday stamp set that will coordinate with it in the new 2020 mini catalog. And then the sentiment I used is "Oh Holy Night, the stars are brightly shining." They look so small on here, but they stamp out much bigger, which messed me up a little bit actually, because I originally was stamping it on a 2-inch circle, so this would edge it nicely, but it was cutting off the O and I didn't like it. I heat embossed that with gold embossing powder. And this little Star of Bethlehem came out of the Most Wonderful Time. There's a little star and there's a coordinating die with it. So I just used the die and that's it. So I just layered them. I didn't put any ribbon on this one. I thought I had enough. And then on the inside, I also heat embossed and I put "May you enjoy this beautiful season." And I think that is also out of the So Many Stars. Yes, "May you enjoy this beautiful season." And again, a strip of red, real red. That was scrap. Oh, this was not scrap. I had to cut that. Okay, so the next one used another one of those card fronts. Here's a piece of real red ribbon just wrapped and fake bow put on. And then this was a scrap, and this was a scrap from the Advent Calendar kit. I had 2 pieces left that were like the fronts. That one and this one. I didn't end up using this one at this point. So I just glued that down on 3 sides, and I stuck this little card in. It says "Joy." I was going to put a hole and put some white twine on there, but at the moment I can't find my white twine, so I have to look for that. It's here somewhere. It probably fell off the back of my little drawer I have on my ribbons and stuff in. Then on the inside I used the "Merry Christmas" from the Perfectly Plaid. That's like my favorite Merry Christmas. Well, one of my favorites. I have 2. And this is Old Olive cardstock. I did have to cut that, and Whisper White, and I did have to cut that. Those were not scraps. I have glue. It's driving me nuts today. So that is, I don't know what number card. 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's card 5. Continuing with the scraps. I do think I had that. No, that's not true. This was already cut too. This is thick Whisper White. These 2 were scraps. This may have been a scrap of Whisper White, and I did heat emboss the "May you enjoy this beautiful season" out of the So Many Stars. I wrapped this with the gold shimmer ribbon in the holiday catalog, and I did put the gold shimmer enamel dots from the holiday catalog. I put 5 of them on in various spaces, and I thought that looked kind of elegant. And then inside I just used the "Merry Christmas" again, heat embossed it again, and I just put the little white with the stars up at the top up there on Old Olive and Whisper White. Okay, next one goes to Real Red, and I think this card base and the next one were also pre-cut. I might be wrong about that though. On these, I don't know if you can see it, because this is stars, I took this star set here. It's all 1 star stamp. And I used Real Red on Real Red, if I remember correctly. Yes, I did. And then this strip is only this wide, and what I did is I took 2 different scraps of Whisper White and glued them onto the back of this so it looked like it had edges. This is the white flax ribbon, and I just wrapped it around this piece once it was glued together. And then this was a scrap of Real Red, and I cut the white down to fit in there. It was just a little too long. It fit up this way, but not this way, I believe. And so I used that same Merry Christmas again, and one of the red enamel dots, real red, from the Twelve Tidings enamel glitter dots. And inside, just another strip of that paper and a piece of Whisper White. No other sentiment at this time on that one. The next one is also real red and also that same paper. This was a scrap of Whisper White and this was a scrap of real red, but I'm pretty sure I had to at this point cut the Whisper White matte. And then these are the real red rhinestones in the annual catalog. They come in a small pack, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to lay my hands on them right at this. Oh, here, maybe I did. They look like this. Red Rhinestone Basic Jewels is what they're called in the annual catalog. But they look like real red to me. And then the Season's Greetings came out of So Many Stars. And see, it looks so much smaller there, but when you look at it in real, it's bigger. There's two stamp sets in here, so it's this one here, right here. And yeah, so that was that one. And then the Sending You Love and Plenty of Cheer, May Your Days Be Bright Throughout All the Year, is also out of here. And I stamped that in real red as well. So a pretty simple card. And then the next one, we're back to Old Olive again. And I had these pieces of scraps here. And then these are stickers from the product medley. And there's two of them, a small one and a larger plant one. And then I stamped Peace, Joy, and Love out of Memories of Home, because it's all in one place, where here you'd have to put them together. And that is cut out with a 1 3/8 inch scallop circle punch on from a scrap of Whisper White. This little gold bow is from the Advent calendar leftovers there. And then I just used the gold glitter enamel dots again. I used 5 of them. And inside I didn't do anything except a strip of this, because what happened was I thought this scrap was actually already a card mat size, but it was too wide, and I didn't realize that till I already glued down these pieces. So I cut off about a 1/4 inch there and here. So these are really close to the edge, but one of them went inside the card. So that's all I have on that one. And then lastly, I switched gears to the Night Before Christmas. I had one large scrap of Christmas trees. I also had a scrap of gold foil. I'm sorry, it drives me nuts that I get these smears. Anyway, I used the May Your Christmas Be Filled with All the Memories of Home from the Memories of Home. This ribbon actually is in the holiday catalog, I think, with the Night Before Christmas set. So it goes with the paper. It's in Cherry Cobbler. I had to cut a piece of Cherry Cobbler. I didn't have any more card bases. And this is very vanilla. This was a scrap of, I said Whisper White, but it's very vanilla. And inside, all I did was put another piece of very vanilla down. I didn't, I was considering putting a piece of the ribbon here, but I don't know. And I did that just like a crisscross to make it sort of look like a present wrapped, since there's presents under the tree. And that is all I did this time. And it has been a little bit of a struggle. I mean, once I get started, I'm okay, but I'm not in a real good crafting mindset right now. So anyway, I think they came out okay. I think I liked my first set from this that I did at the car garage that one time. I think I liked them a little better, but these are nice as well. I like that one actually. I like the weird ones the best, and I kind of like that pocket. So that is all. I know Paige posted her video this morning promptly, so thank you, Paige. And I don't know who else is playing along with this, but if you are, put that in the comments down below my video, and I'll be sure to put it in my description box and link your channel and things so people know to also go check out your channel. And I hope you enjoyed that, and I apologize for being a little, not really late because it's still the 10th. And lastly, I will be going live tonight, but we won't be doing any card making. I'll be showing my second pre-order that I got from Stampin' Up! Just today. I haven't even opened the box yet, so I hope you will come and join me at 7. It might not be a very long live tonight. Alright guys, talk to you soon. Hugs, love, and peace.